Hi, fashionistas. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is OJ. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, we're going to be recreating this beautiful style that you are seeing on the screen right now. So if it is what you are here to learn, please do it to watch the video to the end and don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy! Drafting the upper parts on my brown paper here, I will be starting with the front panel. So the first thing I'm going to do is to indicate my guideline here. And this will serve as the shoulder line. I will mark the neck width of 3.25. Shoulder divided by 2 is 8.3. From there, I'm going to come down. From there, I'm going to come down for my slope, 1.25. Then I'll go up half inch. At the neck width here, I'll also go up half inch. This will serve as the shoulder line. So I'll connect the slope line. So this is our seam allowance to join the front and back together at the shoulder area, right? So from shoulder to chest is 9.75. I'll mark it here. Shoulder to bust is 12 inches. I'll mark it here. Shoulder to under bust is 16. Shoulder to waist is 18. I'll add half inch to that. Then from there, I'm just going to come down 10 inches. So I'm already adding. So I'm just going to make use of 10.5 inches for the total length, right? Because that scallop effect is starting from the waist area, then some inches before the waist area. So I'll just connect this line here to where the hip stops, right? Where the main fabric stops, which is the hip area. So you can determine how low you want it. So I'm drafting everything together. So for me, I'm going to make use of, from the waist, I'm going to make use of 10.5 inches. That includes the seam allowance. So I'm going to make this line to a straight line. So this is the chest line, this is the bust line, the under bust line, this is the waist line, and this is the seam allowance to join it to the skirt, the half skirt, right? So now I'm just going to square this line here, which will serve as the armhole depth. To mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2. So the nipple to nipple divided by 2 for this person is 4.5. So I'll connect it from the bust line straight to the hemline. So for the dart intake at the waist here, I'm going to make use of dart intake of 2 inches. So I will make use of one on both sides, 1 inch on both sides, right? So total of 2 inches dart intake. Then at the under bust here, I'm going to tartan the under bust area. So I'm going to come in 1 inch here, then I'll go at 1.75 here, right? So total dart intake and the under bust here is 2.75. So I'll connect this with my straight ruler this way. So this determine the bust size, right? For your dart intake, determine the bust size. So from the waist area here, I'm just going to come down 5 inches. I'll mark it here this way. Then I'll be connecting this dart. So the down part, which is the skirt, the half skirt area, this is the dart for it, right? So I'll connect it to that 5 inches this way. So I'll cut this through. Then the dart starts from this area here. Hope that is clear. So now at the bust area here, the bust line, I'm going to come down 1 inch. Then I will use my curve ruler to connect this. I'll use my curve ruler to connect this 1 inch to the under bust this way. So this is what we have. So I'll come to the armhole area here because it's armhole precess that. So I will be marking the midpoint from the slope to the chest. This is 8.5. The midpoint is 4.25. I'll be coming in half inch, then I'll connect my armhole curve here. So this is our armhole curve, right? So now I'll be connecting this with my curve ruler this way to the armhole. So I just raise it up, let's say from the midpoint, I just go up 1.5 inches, right? So I'll be coming down 2 inches from this line here to connect the second line. I'll come down 2 inches this way, then I'll connect the second line. So I have different ways of connecting these lines, but I work with this today, so you can also make use of this and it comes out really nice. So now remember that this line here, in order for it to meet together, you have to extend this line here. This second one, it has to be extended so that it can meet together, because this is already shorter than this, right? So I'm just going to extend it with what I came down with. So 2 inches, that's what I'm going to extend, and I'll connect a new armhole here to the chest. So this is what we do regularly if you are connecting to your armhole princess that, right? So this one is no longer useful. This is what we are now making use of. Hope that is clear. So the neck depth for the front, I'm going to make use of is round neck, so I'm going to make use of 3.25. I'll connect it to the neck depth this way. I'll be marking for the vertical measure, the horizontal measurement. So my bust circumference divided by 4, I'll mark it on this chest line here. So for this person, the bust circumference divided by 4 is 10.5 inches. I'll mark it here this way. Then size seam allowance of 2 inches. I'll mark it here. So you can work with whatever size seam allowance that you are comfortable with, right? So now I'll also come to the waist. The waist circumference divided by 4 is 9.5 inches. I'll mark it here. I'll mark it here this way. Then I will first connect my size seam allowance of 2 inches. So I will be including the dart intake here, but let's work with this first, right? Then I'll come to the hemline here. I'll mark the hip circumference, because this is already to the hip area. So the hip circumference divided by 4 is 11 inches. I'll mark it here. Then size seam allowance of 2 inches. So I'll connect this line first, right? So I'll connect this to the waist area. Then I'll also connect this. So now after connecting this, then I will be taking, I'll replace the dart intake. Remember on this waist here, we make use of that intake of 2 inches. So I'll replace it at the waist area here. 2 inches. I'll mark it here this way. So I'll be connecting this back. So this is for the replacement of the dart. Hope that is clear. So now this panel will be longer than the back panel. Front length and the back length are not usually the same, and the difference is what you use to do in your side dart, right? So if you do this, it helps your bust to relax properly, so that effect of that excess at the bust area, you will not have it. So for me, this person, the half length for the front is 2 inches longer than the back half length, right? So that 2 inches is what I'm going to make use of to connect my side dart, right? My bust side dart. So I'm just going to go off from this bust line half inch. Then from there I will come down 2 inches. So I'll be connecting this to the dart apex half inch before the dart apex here. So I'll connect it this way. I want to connect this way. So this is our front panel. So this front panel now is ready. So I'm going to cut this out. So remember, we've already drafted the little part, the skirt area, which is starting from the waist to where the gather start from. We've already drafted it alongside with this. So this is for our front panel now. So I'm going to cut this out. So don't forget to close this side dart. So this is the panel for the front. So now I'm going to cut this part here folded, right? I will add half inch here, add half inch here to join these two panels together. Hope that is clear. So this is for the skirt part. Then this is for the upper part, right? So this now I'm going to also add half inch here, add half inch here to join these two together. So and this part here is going to be cut on the folded fabric, right? So these are for my front panel. So I'm going to keep this aside, then I will draft for the back. So I'll be using this for my back panel. I will come down for my guideline here. So this will serve as the zip seam allowance. So this is 1.5 inches for our zip, and this will serve as the shoulder seam allowance. So at this area, our measurement is starting from this zip area here. So at this area here, I'm going to mark the neck width, which is 3.25. I'll mark it here. Shoulder divided by 2, 8.3. I'll mark it here. Then from there, I'm going to come down for my slope the same way we do for the front, right? Then I'll also go up half inch. Then I'll be connecting this line here. I'll connect the slope line. So this will serve as the shoulder seam allowance. Then shoulder to chest, the same way we did for the front. So shoulder to chest is 9.75. To bust is 12. Now we don't need under bust for the back. Half length for the front, for the back. For the front, we make use of 18 inches plus half inch, right? Now for the front, we have removed 2 inches for our side dart. So we left with 16 inches, which is here. Then plus half inch. Then from there, I'm just going to measure down the 10.5 inches, right? So I will be adding half inch when I'm cutting it on my fabric. So I'll make this a straight line. So this is the chest line. This is the bust line. This is the waistline, right? And this is our hem line. Hope that is clear. So now I'm just going to square this line here to serve as the armhole depth. Then I'll mark the midpoint from the slope to the chest. I'll be coming in half inch from there. I'll connect my armhole curve here. I'll be contouring the back, right? So that the zip will relax properly. At this zip area here, I'm going to remove half inch away from that. Then I will replace it back this way, right? So I'll be connecting this straight up. You know that the back is not flat, so it's a bit curvy, and that's why you do this so that your zip will relax. So this is still the 1.5 inches. So this is going off. Hope that is clear. So now I will be marking the bust circumference divided by the waist circumference divided by 4. I'll mark it here, which is 9.5 inches, starting from this line here. Hope that is clear. So I'll mark it here, plus size seam allowance of 2 inches. I'll also mark it here this way. Then I'll come to the bust. I'll come to the chest line. The bust circumference divided by 4 is 10.5 inches. I'll also mark it here this way. Then plus 2 inches for size seam. I'll mark it here. So I'll be connecting this with a straight ruler. At this hemline here, I will mark the hip circumference divided by 4, which is 11 inches. I'll mark it here. Then size seam allowance of 2 inches. I'll also mark it here. So I'll connect this. So this is what we have now. So I'll be taking that intake, right? I'll use 1 inch. So I'm going to sew a normal dart here. I'll mark the nipple to nipple divided by. So the dart intake for this waist area here is 1 inch. So I'll mark half inch on both sides this way. So I'll connect this straight to the hemline this way. And this, so I'll be connecting this to the armhole area too. So this is what we have for the back, all right? So I will replace this dart here at this side, at the waist area. I will replace the dart of 1 inch. Then I'll be connecting this. So this is what we have for the back. So I'll be cutting it out. So the neck depth for the back is 1 inch. So this is what we have for the back. So when I'm cutting this on my fabric, I don't need to add any seam allowance except this area here. I'll add half inch here, add half inch here to join these two together, right? Then these two, I also add half inch here, add half inch here to join these two back together. And that's all for the seam allowance. So this is what I have for the back, and this is what we have for the front. So I'm going to cut this on my fabric. I will iron my stay on them, iron my wadding too on the front area, then I'll come back to show you. So guys, we are going to do that in my next tutorial. This is just the drafting part. So in my next tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can sew and also incorporate the gathers to the skirt, which is the half part that we also draft alongside here. So now if you want to see the outcome of this style, how we can recreate it using this panel, please do watch that in my next tutorial. I'm going to upload it after this. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have not subscribed and you have watched to this point, please hit on that subscribe button so that you'll be seeing more beautiful styles like this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in next class. Bye.